Hello everyone. Let us read about the subject, the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanghita, with respect to your exam, and Bharatiya Nyaya Sanghita, which for brevity we call it as the BNS. So let us read about the subject. So first of all, I'll be telling you regarding the basic information, and this basic information contains the factual information regarding the subject, and from this area you can expect one question in your prelims ka exam. And after covering that, we will see कि on whom BNS will apply. If suppose Manisha incident was there, तो क्या उसमें हमारा BNS लगेगा? What about a person who is an Indian citizen and he commits the offense of murder in any foreign land, let it be it is in there in Uganda, is he liable under BNS? What about the situation when any offense is committed on high seas? To know all this, we have to cover the topic of applicability of BNS that we'll see today, and then how to make a person criminally liable under BNS. That is about basic principle regarding the criminal law, on which maxim the whole of the criminal law is based, that we'll see. और फिर हम कैसे ऑफेंस में लाइबिलिटी डिसाइड करते हैं, इफ इट इज द केस ऑफ फॉल्ट और गिल्ट बेस्ड लाइबिलिटी, और it is a case of strict liability offense. So that all we are going to cover in this class itself. So the subject which I'm going to teach you is the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanghita of 2023, which for brevity I'll be calling it as the BNS. What you need to have when you're reading this subject, you need to have a bare act. bare act आप किसी भी पब्लिकेशन की ले सकते हो, but comment it is advisable not to read that, क्योंकि sometime it contains the errors, क्योंकि वो private opinion होता है of that particular publication का, तो sometime it contains wrong information. So that note you have to take. Otherwise, you can buy bare act of any publication. So do keep bare act along with you, which is Gita, Quran, Bible, Adi Granth for us, and a notebook in which you will be jotting down whatever will be taught. And when a topic is taught, उसके बाद you have to solve the PYQs. That is how you have to cover any subject regarding your competitive exam. So the subject which we are reading is the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanghita, which for brevity I'll be calling it as the BNS. तो ये नाम कैसे पता चला कि we are reading the subject जिसे हम बोलेंगे the भारतीय न्याय संहिता of 2023, that is well mentioned from section 1, and that to be from section 1 subsection 1. Section 1 subsection 1 contains the short title, and in the short title the name of the legislation is given, that is the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanghita of 2023. The year which is written after the name of the legislation, उसे हम enactment year बोलते हैं. It means that tell us कि किस साल का ये कानून है. So enactment year for the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanghita is 2023. That is well written in section 1 subsection 1 after the name of the legislation. Section 1 short title, it contains 3 things. हम एक एक करके पढ़ेंगे. What is there? Subsection 1, this act may be called the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanghita 2023. So enactment year for the legislation is 2023. In every year too many laws are made. तो हम कैसे आइडेंटिफाई करें कि 2023 का दिस पर्टिकुलर लेजिस्लेशन इज अबाउट भारतीय न्याय संहिता, क्योंकि 3 लॉज तो एक हम ही लोग जानते हैं, दैट ऑल 3 क्रिमिनल लॉज विच आर there, that to be of 2023. आपको लोकेट करने के लिए इन योर कॉम्पिटेटिव एग्जाम रोल नंबर इज गिवन इन फॉर्म ऑफ योर एडमिट कार्ड दैट इज बीइंग रिटन. घर को कैसे आइडेंटिफाई करते हैं? बाय हाउस नंबर, स्ट्रीट नंबर आर देयर. सिमिलरली एक्ट को आइडेंटिफाई करने के लिए वी हैव एक्ट नंबर. सो द एक्ट नंबर फॉर BNS इज 45 ऑफ 2023. और ये लिखा कहाँ होता है? इन द वेरी फर्स्ट पेज ऑफ द बेयर एक्ट, below the name of the legislation, in a small bracket, this act number is given, and it is too easy. 45 of 2023 is BNS, 46 of 2026 is Bharatiya Nagarik Suraksha Sanhita, that is for BNSS, and 47 is for 47 of 2023 is of Bharatiya Sakshya Adhiniyam, that is of BSA. So act number for the legislation is 45 of 2023. Now let us see how many total number of sections are there under the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, that is under BNS. So you will be finding कि section का number reduce हो गया है. If we compare with the corresponding old law of Indian Penal Code of 1860, so it is just 358 sections which are there under the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita. Now let us see how many total number of chapters are there under BNS. So just 20 chapters are there. Section reduce हुआ है तो obviously chapter number भी reduce होगा. तो 358 sections are there which are provided in 20 chapters under the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita. Now let us see what is the assent date for this legislation. We all know that bill turns into the act with the assent. अगर वो सेंट्रल का कानून है with the presidential assent, if that is the state का legislation with the assent of the governor. So let us see what is the assent date, which is also known as enactment date. It is such date on which that particular bill have taken the form of the act, and for all three criminal laws it is 25th December 2023. लेकिन ये जरूरी नहीं है कि जिस दिन कानून बन गया है उसी दिन से इट इज मेड एप्लीकेबल. इट ऑल डिपेंड्स ऑन द इंटेंशन ऑफ द लेजिस्लेचर कि किस दिन से वो लागू कराना चाहते हैं. एंड देयर आर टू टर्म्स. वन इज प्रोस्पेक्टिव another is retrospective. Prospective means from future date and retrospective means from back date. So let us see what is the commencement or enforcement date for BNS. Commencement or enforcement date का मतलब from which date that particular legislation is made applicable. तो enforcement date और दी commencement date जो कि सेम होती है for the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita is 4th July 2024. But this date you'll not be finding. This date find no mention in the Bear Act. तो पता कैसे चला? A statement has been provided in 1 subsection 2 of the Bear Act of BNS, and it says that it shall apply from such date as the central government by notification in the official gazette appoint. यानी जिस दिन से सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट डिसाइड करेगा बाय नोटिफाइंग इन द ऑफिशियल गैजेट, बिकॉज इग्नोरेंस ऑफ लॉ इज नो एक्सक्यूज, दैट्स व्हाई वी नोटिफाई एवरीथिंग इन द ऑफिशियल गैजेट. सो जिस दिन से हमारी सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट डिसाइड करेगी उस दिन से दैट विल बी एप्लीकेबल. एंड व्हाट डेट सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट हैज अपॉइंटेड फॉर द एप्लीकेशन ऑफ ऑल द 3 criminal laws is including BNS also. It is 1st of July 2024, and this section in the latter part provides that अलग अलग प्रोविजन के लिए अलग अलग डेट भी हो सकती है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, हिट एंड रन केस हैज नॉट बीन एप्लीकेबल अप टिल नाउ. So the commencement date or the enforcement date for BNS is 1st July 2024, and in BERAT it is mentioned under 1 subsection 2. It says that it shall come into force from such date as central government by notification in the official gazette appoint and different dates could be appointed for different provision and our central government has decided the date of 1st July 2024 to be such date जहां से जिस दिन से BNS will be applicable. Section 1, subsection 2, commencement. It shall come into force on such date as the central government may, by notification in the official gazette, appoint, and different dates may be appointed for different provisions of this Sanhita. So we have seen that SN date was 25th December 2023 and the commencement date is 1st July 2024. Now let us see the extent of this act. The extent of BNS is to the whole of India. Even though extent has not been expressly provided under the new law. तो इसका मतलब ये है क्या कि that will not be applicable to the whole of India? No. Extent का मतलब up till what territory that particular legislation is applicable, and extent of BNS is to the whole of India. Now the question is, why expressly they have excluded to give under BNS के BERAT में? Because nowadays we are working on a policy, one nation, one rule. हो सकता है आने वाले दिनों में we'll have one nation, one election. So we have one nation, one rule. इसीलिए expressly they have not provided under the BERAT. It doesn't mean that it does not apply to the whole of India. Rather, the extent of BNS is to the whole of India, and to the whole part of the Indian territory, this BNS will be applicable. Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita of 2023 will be applicable to the whole of India. Who was the head of the committee who has drafted all three criminal laws for us? And it was Professor Dr. Ranbir Singh. Who was the head of the committee which has drafted all the three criminal laws for us, जिसमें से एक criminal law we are reading, that is the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita. Now let us see what is given in the preamble of this legislation. Preamble of every legislation give us the purpose. Everything has a purpose on this earth. You people are reading, that has a purpose because you want your name to be there in the final PDF. You want to come with flying colors. You want your name to be there in the official gazette. I'll teach you in the flowchart के form में. That also has a purpose. So that to make you understand, Drishti is giving abridged course, shorter form of course in crash course. नाम अलग अलग हो सकता है. So that to make you understand the concept in a shorter span of time, so that by understanding the question you can practice the test series and the other thing. So everything has a purpose on this earth. Similarly, preamble contains the purpose for that particular legislation, and BNS का preamble says that it is such an act to consolidate and amend the provision relating to the offences and matter connected therewith and incidental thereto. And sometime in your prelims especially they give the wordings. क्या ऐसा है कि an act to consolidate, amend and provide the provision relating to the offences, or it is an act to consolidate and provide the provision relating to the offences, or it is an act to consolidate and amend. So by giving the statement ka verbatim, they ask you which of the following is the correct as is mentioned in the preamble of the legislation. So preamble of the BNS says that it is an act to consolidate मतलब एक जगह इकट्ठा करता है एंड अमेंड करता है, क्योंकि एज पर द नीड हम ऑफेंसेस को चेंज करते रहेंगे. फॉर एग्जाम्पल यू हैव सीन दैट मॉब लिंचिंग हैज बीन मेड अ न्यू ऑफेंस, टेररिस्ट एक्ट बनाया है हमने, ऑर्गेनाइज क्राइम, पेटी ऑर्गेनाइज क्राइम, सेडिशन को हैज बीन स्क्रैप्ड नाउ. तो व्हाई सच थिंग इज डन? बिकॉज एज पर द नीड ऑफ सोसाइटी वी यूज टू डिफाइन द ऑफेंस, और जो आउटडेटेड हो गए दैट इज ऑफ नो यूज, दैट वी स्क्रैप इट. सो an act to consolidate and amend, तो एक जगह इकट्ठा करना और amend करना. what? the provision कौन से provisions which are related to the offenses and matters which are connected therewith, or which are incidental to it. So it is an act which consolidate and amend the provisions relating to the offense and to deal with the matters which are connected therewith or incidental thereto. I am reading the preamble. आप देखो, so that you can corroborate. That is given in the BEAR Act. An act to consolidate and amend the provisions relating to offences and for matters connected therewith or incidental thereto. So this is about the factual information. Now let us see applicability of BNS. Applicability of BNS हमें बताएगा कि on whom BNS will apply, and for applicability we will be reading in two heads. Now we are going to see, अब तक हमने जितना भी इंफॉर्मेशन पढ़ा, be it regarding the name of the legislation which is the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, enactment year is 2023. This all will come under the head basic information regarding the subject. Act number of the legislation is 45. Total number of sections are 358, which are given in 20 chapters. As and date, जिसे हम enactment date भी बोल सकते हैं, that is 25th December 2023 for BNS. Enforcement date or commencement date, which is same, that is 1st July 2024 for BNS, and that find it's mentioned under one subsection 2, which is about commencement date or enforcement date of BNS, and it says that it shall come into force on such date as central government by notification in the official gazette appoint. और अलग अलग provisions के लिए different date could be appointed. For example, hit and run case has not been made enforceable till now. Extent is to the whole of India, even though it has not been expressly provided. Head of the committee which has drafted criminal law for us, including BNS, is Professor Dr. Ranbir Singh. Preamble of the legislation says that it is an act to consolidate and amend the provision relating to the offences and for matter which are connected to or which are incidental to it. Now we are going to see second topic, and that is the applicability of the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita of 2023, that is applicability of BNS. And this we will be reading in two head. One is intra-territorial applicability, and another is extraterritorial applicability. Intra-territorial applicability के लिए we need to read only one subsection of section 1, that is 1 subsection 3 of BNS provides for intra-territorial applicability, whereas in order to read extraterritorial applicability we need to cover these. It is 1 subsection 5 of BNS, which will be read with section 1, subsection 4 of the BNS, which will be read with section 208 of the Bharatiya Nagarik Suraksha Sanhita, which for brevity we call it as the BNSS. So why? Because laws are read in interlinked manner में, and law is never read in isolation. तो जिस law का भी connection other law से होगा, I'll tell you at the same moment. Because what we are reading, that BNS is the substantive law. Law को we categorize in two category. It could be substantive law or it could be procedural law. Substantive law means such laws which gives the rights and duties of the parties. साथ साथ में ऐसे laws जो हमें offense बताएं and which provides the punishment for such offense, that will also come under the substantive law के category में. और जो हम पढ़ रहे हैं भारतीय न्याय संहिता, जो हमें बताएगा कि ऑफेंस ऑफ थेफ्ट कब होगा, व्हेन मर्डर विल रिड्यूस टू कल्पेबल होमिसाइड नॉट अमाउंटिंग टू मर्डर, that all are provided in the act. So BNS is one of the example of substantive law, and that to be substantive penal law. Procedural law, name itself suggests that it contains the procedure of implementing such rights and duties which are provided in the substantive law. और साथ ही साथ it gives us the procedure that how the investigation, inquiry or trial of the offenses are done. So BNS is the substantive law. BNSS and BSA, Bharatiya Sakshi Adhiniyam, are the procedural law. Civil Procedure Code is also the example of procedural law. So we need to interlink substantive law with procedural law and vice versa. So extraterritorial applicability पढ़ने के लिए we need to cover 1 subsection 5, all 3 clauses A, B, C, read with 1 subsection 4 of the BNS, which is about legal fiction, read with 208 of the BNSS, जो कि हमें बताएगा कि which court have jurisdiction to try him, to try offenses under BNS में अगर हो रहे हैं तो in certain situation. So let us understand these, because applicability of BNS will tell us on whom BNS will apply. और हर सेक्शन को हम समझेंगे इन द फॉर्म ऑफ ब्रेकिंग दैट सेक्शन इनटू इंग्रेडिएंट्स के फॉर्म में। और एग्जाम में आपसे कुछ भी पूछेगा तो आप उन्हीं इंग्रेडिएंट्स को चेक कराओगे कि वेदर ऑल ऑफ द इंग्रेडिएंट्स आर फुलफिल्ड इन दैट पर्टिकुलर केस और नॉट। If all of the ingredients are fulfilled, it means that particular provision will be applicable. If any of the ingredient is not been fulfilled in that particular case mein, it means you have to check some other section. So let us first understand intra-territorial applicability as provided in one subsection 3 of the BNS. It has just 3 elements. As I told you कि section को हम पढ़ेंगे ingredients के form में, and we will be adopting divide and rule policy. डिवाइड करेंगे बेयर एक्ट के सेक्शन को इंग्रेडिएंट्स के फॉर्म में, एंड देन यू विल बी रूलिंग कि आप क्वेश्चन पूछ के दिखाओ. आई विल बी इन पोजीशन टू आंसर एवरी क्वेश्चन. तो लेट मी एक्सप्लेन यू व्हाट इज देयर इन इंट्रा टेरिटोरियल एप्लीकेबिलिटी. We need to cover only one subsection, that is one subsection 3 of the BNS. It says that if any offense is committed by a person within India, he to be liable under Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita of 2023. So let us understand these terms. क्योंकि सबसे पहला टर्म इंग्रेडिएंट क्या है? ऑफेंस होना चाहिए, एंड द टर्म ऑफेंस हैज बीन डिफाइंड इन 2 clause 24. Section 2 is the definition clause for all the 3 criminal laws, so it is too easy to remember. And section 2 clause 24 define the term offense. It says that things punishable under this Sanhita will be called as the offense. Things means things which are punishable under this Sanhita. Things means consequence of any human conduct. तो consequence of such human conduct जो कि punishable है भारतीय न्याय संहिता में, and in human conduct both will come act as well as illegal omission. Every omission will not make a person liable under criminal law. It is only the illegal omission which will make a person liable. Illegal omission means it is the duty of the person to do that act, and that thing he has omitted to do, then that is illegal in omission in him as given in 2 clause 15 of the BNS. तो offense का मतलब such thing which are punishable under this संहिता. इन अदर वर्ड्स हम ऐसा कह सकते हैं कि वो एक्ट्स, वो कॉन्सिक्वेंस ऑफ ह्यूमन कंडक्ट जो इस संहिता के अंदर पनिशेबल नहीं है, दे आर नॉट टेकन एज द ऑफेंस. फॉर एग्जांपल अडल्ट्री, फॉर एग्जांपल सेडिशन इज नो मोर द ऑफेंस. सो such act which are not punishable under this संहिता will not be taken as offense. If you compare this offense का definition as provided in 2 clause 24 with 2 subsection 1 clause Q of the भारतीय नागरिक सुरक्षा संहिता where the term offense has been defined, तो वहां पर देखोगे it includes any act or omission which are punishable under any law in force in India. So definition for the term offense is wider in BNSS as compared to BNS, क्योंकि यहाँ पे only such things, consequence of such human conduct जो कि punishable हैं under this संहिता only, that will be taken as offense. In other words, if something is not punishable under this Sanhita, that will not be taken as offense for the purpose of BNS. Person word has been used. It means nationality of the person is no concern. Accused Indian हो सकता है, और he could be a foreigner, foreign national का हो सकता है. As the term person has been used, इसका मतलब accused can be an Indian, me and you, or any citizen of India, or it could be a foreign national. 2 possibility can be there, क्योंकि location of the accused पे this subsection is silent. टू पॉसिबिलिटी कैन बी देयर, या तो हो सकता है कि एक्यूज इंडिया के अंदर हो और इंडिया के अंदर रहकर ऑफेंस करे. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, हस्बैंड हैज किल्ड वाइफ in pretext of dowry. It could be a case, and that happens in Bhopal. Let it be. Or another situation is, पहली situation तो ये है कि accused इंडिया के अंदर है and he is doing the offense within India. Second situation, it could be that accused is outside India. It means he is on some foreign land and from there he commits the offense within India. So there are few situations which will come in the second part. It could be the offense of abatement, offense of criminal conspiracy, offense of cheating, offense of waging war against the government of India. तो अगर accused इंडिया के बाहर है and because of him if offense is committed, he to be held liable. For example, if suppose X is there and he has stolen बिहार APO के टेस्ट सीरीज का पेपर फ्रॉम दृष्टि हेड ऑफिस विच इज देयर इन मुखर्जी नगर ऑफ दिल्ली. तो X has committed the offense in Delhi. He will be liable as per 1 subsection 3, क्योंकि 1 subsection 3 के लिए क्या होना चाहिए? ऑफेंस होना चाहिए. थेफ्ट इज पनिशेबल अंडर BNS. ही कुड बी एन इंडियन, चलेगा. कहां पर होना चाहिए? इंडिया के अंदर, विथ इन इंडिया. That is all satisfying in this example. So X to be liable under BNS. Suppose this is the India-Pakistan ka border and a person is there and he is on Pakistan ke side and from there he has opened fire on a person and that person A dies within Indian territory. तो सवाल ये है कि क्या हम इसको let it be P who is in Pakistan, from there he has open shot a person who has died within the Indian territory, क्या इसकी liability करें? Yes. Only you have to check 3 ingredients. Murder is the offense under BNS. Accused Indian हो सकता है, foreigner हो सकता है, nationality पे there is no concern. Offense इंडिया के अंदर होना चाहिए. That happens. इंडिया के अंदर रहकर हो सकता है, जो पहले वाले एग्जाम्पल में था, और इट कुड बी द केस जहां पर इंडिया के बाहर accused is there and he'll be made liable. Suppose there is an Indian embassy in US और वहां पर एक्सटॉर्शन का ऑफेंस इज कमिटेड बाय वाई. इज ही लायबल एज पर 1 subsection 3 ऑफ द BNS? यस, बिकॉज इंडियन एम्बेसी इज कंसिडर्ड एज द पार्ट ऑफ इंडिया एंड दैट पर्सन X who has done the offense of extortion in Indian embassy that to be made liable by the purview of under section 1 subsection 3. क्योंकि जिस भी कंट्री की एम्बेसी होती है वो उस कंट्री का पार्ट होती है एंड दैट कंट्री का रूल टू रेगुलेटेड. 1 subsection 3, every person shall be liable to punishment under this Samhita and not otherwise for every act or omission contrary to the provision thereof of which he shall be guilty within India. तो चाहे आरजीकर मेडिकल केस हो और इट एनी केस, निर्भया केस, तो निर्भया केस के समय इट वाज IPC, आरजीकर मेडिकल केस में भी. Now if any heinous offense of rape is there, it could be regulated by the BNS. Now let us read about extraterritorial applicability, and that के लिए first of all we have to read 1 subsection 5 of the BNS and that to be all 3 clauses. तो देख लेते हैं what is given here. एक्स्ट्रा टेरिटोरियल एप्लीकेबिलिटी के लिए वी नीड टू कवर 3 थिंग्स. सबसे पहला हम पढ़ने जा रहे हैं सेक्शन 1 सबसेक्शन 5 ऑफ द BNS एंड दैट टू बी क्लॉज A. इट सेज दैट इफ एनी सिटीजन ऑफ इंडिया commits any offense outside India then he to be liable under this Samhita. तो what are the ingredients of 1 subsection 5 clause A? यहां पर जो एक्यूज है वो इंडियन होगा. इट मीन्स foreign national cannot be the accused as per clause A of subsection 5 of section 1 of the BNS. ऑफेंस करेगा, इट मीन समथिंग विच इज पनिशेबल अंडर दिस संहिता. कहां पे करेगा? आउटसाइड इंडिया. जो आपके बैरक में वर्ड लिखा है विदाउट एंड बियॉन्ड इंडिया, इट मीन्स इट इज ऑन सम फॉरेन लैंड. तो इंडिया के बाहर इफ एनी पर्सन कॉमिट्स ऑफेंस ही विल बी मेड लायबल. एंड द पर्पज ऑफ दिस क्लॉज इज टू प्रिवेंट इंडियंस फ्रॉम कमिटिंग एनी ऑफेंस. जो इलस्ट्रेशन आपके बैरक में दिया है, इलस्ट्रेशन आर वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, यू नीड टू कवर इट, क्योंकि डायरेक्टली वहां से सवाल आ सकता है इन योर एग्जाम. ए हु इज अ सिटीजन ऑफ इंडिया commits a murder in any place without and beyond India, he can be tried and convicted of murder in any place in India in which he will be found. So suppose if there is an Indian citizen A and if he goes to any place without and beyond India, matlab it is on foreign land. Suppose he goes to Uganda, yeah, instead of writing any particular place, particular country ka naam, if it is mentioned in the exam ki he has committed offense, let it be of murder, he has murder B, let it be he has caused death of B by murdering him. So A ने murder किया है, either the name of the country is there, let it be Uganda, or it is on some land which is without and beyond India. Now the question is that person liable under BNS? Answer is yes, as per 1 subsection 5 clause A. The provision of this Sanghita shall also apply to any offence committed by any citizen of India in any place without and beyond India. Let us see second situation. यहाँ पर क्या है कि offense will be done by any person. It means again the nationality of the accused is no concern. लेकिन offense कहाँ होना चाहिए? In Indian ship or aircraft. Such ship or aircraft which are registered in India wherever it may be. यानी location of the ship or aircraft is no concern. So let us see. 1 subsection 5 clause B में what another instance has been provided. It says that any offense is committed by a person. Again, person word has been used. It means accused. AC stand for accused. Could be an Indian or he could be a foreigner. लेकिन ये इंसान ऑफेंस कहां करेगा? In such ship or aircraft which are registered in India. It means that person has committed the offense on Indian ship or aircraft. और ये Indian ship और aircraft कहां पर हो? Wherever it may be. Wherever it may be मतलब location of the ship or aircraft is immaterial. यानी ऑफेंस होना चाहिए इंडियन शिप या एयरक्राफ्ट में wherever it may be as per 1 subsection 5 clause B. The provision of this Sanghita shall also apply to any offense committed by any person on any ship or aircraft in India wherever it may be. The word wherever it may be means location of Indian ship or aircraft is immaterial. Let us understand this with the help of example. Suppose this is Air India ka flight and this flight is there in the airspace of California, and suppose there is a person X, he has murdered Y. तो क्या हम X को BNS के अंदर लायबल ठहराएं as per 1 subsection 5 clause B? Yes. What you'll be checking? You'll be checking the ingredient. Offense हुआ है? Yes. Murder is an offense. Person है X, कोई भी हो सकता है, Indian हो सकता है और he could be foreigner. कहाँ पर होना चाहिए? Indian ship or aircraft? Yes. Air India is the aircraft which is registered in India. Location immaterial है, wherever it may be. तो कैलिफोर्निया के एयर स्पेस पे हो या कहीं पर भी हो. Now let us see third situation which is given in 1 subsection 5 clause C. It says that if any person is there, it means accused again can be an Indian citizen, this is an Indian citizen, or a foreign national. he is at the time of commission of offense he is on foreign land, it means he is outside India. Again, without and beyond India हमें बताता है कि that person is outside India. तो जिस वक्त ऑफेंस हो रहा है that accused be the Indian citizen or a foreign national, he is outside India on some foreign land and being there he commit such offense which targeted computer resource located in India. तो क्या हम ऐसे इंसान को जो कि इंडिया के बाहर है, बीइंग आउटसाइड इंडिया, हो सकता है वो इंडियन नेशनल हो और ही इज फॉरेन नेशनल, देयर बीइंग ऑन some land which is outside India, he commits the offense which targeted the computer resource located in India, he could be made liable as per subsection C of as per clause C of subsection 5 of section 1 of the BNS. For example, suppose there is a person A and this person is in Russia, and being from Russia he has hacked all the datas from the health ministry regarding, suppose there is a confidential information saved. मान लो हमारी गवर्नमेंट ने एक वायरस को किल करने के लिए, लेट इट बी इबोला वायरस और एनी काइंड ऑफ डेडली वायरस को किल करने के लिए हमारी गवर्नमेंट ने एक वैक्सीनेशन इन्वेंट करके सारा डाटा स्टोर किया है इन हेल्थ मिनिस्ट्री. वो डाटा ही पूरा हैक कर लिया जाता है फ्रॉम अ पर्सन A who is in Russia. Is he liable under BNS? Answer is yes. The provision of this Sanhita shall also apply to any offense committed by any person in any place without and beyond India committing offense targeting a computer resource located in India. तो अब कैसे पता करें कि liability होगी या नहीं होगी? For that, test has been provided in the explanation. कि अगर इंडिया के बाहर ऑफेंस हो रहा है देन हाउ टू डिटरमाइन कि लायबिलिटी होगी या नहीं अंडर बीएनएस. तो द सेम एक्ट विच इज डन आउटसाइड इंडिया, इफ दैट एक्ट इज कमिटेड विद इन इंडिया, तो क्या लायबिलिटी होगी? इफ द आंसर इज यस, देन द लायबिलिटी विल बी देयर अंडर बीएनएस. दैट हैज बीन सो प्रोवाइडेड अंडर एक्सप्लेनेशन appended to 1 subsection 5 of the BNS. It says that act which is committed outside India, same act को if that is committed within India, what we check is it punishable under BNS? If the answer is yes, then on such person BNS will apply. For example, adultery is punishable in some Arabian countries. If a person, let it be of Indian citizen है कोई, and he goes there and he does the act of adultery, is he liable under BNS? No. Explanation. In this section, the word offense includes every act committed outside India, which if committed in India would be punishable under this Sanhita. Let us see one example. Suppose there is a high seas, and on this high seas there is a foreign vessel. And on this foreign vessel, let it be the offense of theft has been committed when it is there on high seas. Let it be theft has been committed by M. तो क्या हम M के ऊपर BNS लगाएं? आप कैसे चेक करोगे? You will be checking interterritorial applicability का केस है क्या? 1 subsection 3 not at all, high seas है. फिर आप आ जाओ 1 subsection 5 clause A में, Indian citizen involved है क्या? No. Let it be he is an American citizen. Then you come whether it is on Indian ship or aircraft. No. ये तो foreign vessel है. Then come to the C clause. Is it about targeting some computer resource located in India? Absolutely no. तो जब applicability का कोई provision लगा ही नहीं, will not make this M liable under BNS, as this happens on foreign vessel. This पे BNS will not extend, and that to be in high seas जहाँ पे no country have jurisdiction. अब सवाल ये है कि अगर इंडिया के बाहर ऑफेंस हो रहा है तो हाउ इंडियन कोर्ट्स हैव jurisdiction? As the offense is committed outside India, in extraterritorial केस में, एप्लीकेबिलिटी में, so how Indian courts have jurisdiction? तो उसका आंसर has been provided in 1 subsection 4. 1 subsection 4 is about legal fiction. Legal fiction means supposition of law against fact. फैक्ट कुछ और होगा और लॉ उसके कॉन्ट्ररी प्रिज्यूम कर रहा होगा, देन दैट इज द सिचुएशन ऑफ लीगल फिक्शन. सवाल ये है कि जब इंडिया के बाहर ऑफेंस हो रहा है तो हाउ इंडियन कोर्ट्स हैव जुरिसडिक्शन? दैट आंसर इज बीइंग गिवन इन 1 सबसेक्शन 4. इट सेज दैट इफ ऑफेंस इज कमिटेड आउटसाइड इंडिया, तो वी प्रिज्यूम एज इफ, जहां पर भी आपको बैरक में एज इफ वर्ड या डीम्ड वर्ड दिखे, समझ जाना कि दे आर टॉकिंग अबाउट लीगल फिक्शन. तो इट विल बी टेकन एज इफ कि ऑफेंस इज कमिटेड विथ इन इंडिया. तो जब लॉ ने ही ऐसा मान लिया है कि ऑफेंस इंडिया के अंदर हुआ है, टेस्ट वही है कि वो एक्ट जो इंडिया के बाहर किया गया, सेम एक्ट इज डन इन इंडिया, so whether that is punishable on that day. If the answer is yes, then only the liability will be made out. So if offense is committed outside India, it will be taken as if the offense is committed within India. तो जब कानून ही मान ले रहा है कि ऑफेंस इंडिया के अंदर हुआ है, तो इंडियन कोर्ट्स हैव jurisdiction. That is so given under 1 subsection 4, which is about legal fiction. Any person liable by any law for the time being in force to be tried for an offense committed beyond India shall be dealt with according to the provisions of this Samhita for any act committed beyond India in the same manner as if such act has been committed within India. अब सवाल ये है कि जब ऑफेंस इंडिया के बाहर हो रहा है, इन सच सिचुएशन जहां पर लॉ मान ले रहा है कि ऑफेंस इंडिया के अंदर हुआ है, तो विच कोर्ट हैव jurisdiction to try that person? Suppose there is a person X, he has gone to England, there he has committed theft, और थेफ्ट करने के बाद ही अराइव्स एट द इंडोर एयरपोर्ट पे एंड ही इज अरेस्टेड देयर, एंड सपोज FIR रिगार्डिंग सच हैज बीन मेड इन वाराणसी. तो किस कोर्ट के पास जुरिसडिक्शन होगा? वेदर इट इज द इंदौर कोर्ट एज वेल एज द वाराणसी का कोर्ट. तो व्हाट इज द लॉ ऑन दैट पॉइंट? टू नो दिस वी नीड टू रीड सेक्शन 208 ऑफ द BNSS, जो कहता है, क्योंकि कौन सी कोर्ट के पास jurisdiction होगा, दैट हैज बीन प्रोवाइडेड इन 208 ऑफ द भारतीय नागरिक सुरक्षा संहिता. इट सेज दैट व्हेन द ऑफेंस इज कमिटेड बाय एन इंडियन सिटीजन, इट मीन्स यहां पर एक्यूज कौन है? इंडियन नेशनल. और वो ऑफेंस कहां करा है? आइदर ऑन हाई सीज और एल्सवेयर. or the accused is any person other than Indian. इसका मतलब they are talking about foreigner. If any person other than a foreigner, I mean other than an Indian, that is a foreigner, if he commits offense, कहां पर? Indian ship or aircraft, such ship or aircraft which is registered in India, जिसे हम इंडियन एयरक्राफ्ट या इंडियन शिप बोल सकते हैं, तो अगर ऑफेंस किया जा रहा है बाय इंडियन सिटीजन आइदर ऑन high seas or elsewhere, or any person other than Indian, it means foreigner is committing the offense either on Indian ship or Indian aircraft, that is on such ship or aircraft which is registered in India. तो सबसे पहले it will be taken as if the offense is committed within India. And such court have jurisdiction to try where he is found, यानी where the accused is found for the first time, or where the offense is registered, जहां पे offense registered है. It means अगर कॉग्निजेबल ऑफेंस है तो जहां पर FIR लॉन्च हुई है, इफ इट इज नॉन कॉग्निजेबल ऑफेंस तो जहां पर NCR लॉन्च हुई है. तो सच कोर्ट हैव जुरिसडिक्शन टू ट्राई दैट ऑफेंडर वेयर ही इज फाउंड. तो अगर ऑफेंस करने के बाद वन इज कॉट इन इंदौर के एयरपोर्ट पे, दैट प्लेस हैव जुरिसडिक्शन टू ट्राई हिम, यानी उस इंदौर की कोर्ट के पास जुरिसडिक्शन होगा टू ट्राई दैट ऑफेंडर. सपोज रिगार्डिंग हिम FIR हैज बीन लॉन्च्ड इन वाराणसी, तो वाराणसी कोर्ट हैव jurisdiction to try such offender. So this is about section 208 which tell us the offense. So we have understood extraterritorial applicability. तो किसके ऊपर BNS लगेगा? To know that we need to read interterritorial applicability which is given under 1 subsection 3 of the BNS, जो कहता है कि अगर accused be it Indian or foreigner, if he does the offense within India, इंडिया के अंदर रहकर ऑफेंस कर सकता है या इंडिया के बाहर, he will be made liable. एक्स्ट्रा टेरिटोरियल एप्लीकेबिलिटी के लिए we have to read 3 situation. Subsection 5 of section 1 का clause A says that if any Indian citizen is there, if he commit any offense outside India, he to be made liable under BNS. If any person is there, be it Indian or a foreigner, if he commits the offense in such ship or aircraft which is registered in India, wherever that ship or aircraft may be, he to be liable under BNS. Or it is any person, be it Indian citizen or a foreign national, who at the time of commission of the offense is on some foreign land, and there being on foreign land, he does the offense targeting the computer resource which is located in India, then he to be tried under BNS. If offense is committed outside India, then by legal fiction, it is being taken that offense has been committed within India. That's why Indian courts have jurisdiction. So that answer is being given under 1 subsection 4, which is about legal fiction. And test has been provided in the explanation attached to 1 subsection 5, which says that whatever act has been committed, the same act, if done in India, if the liability is there, then only he will be made liable. And which court have jurisdiction? That has been provided under 208 of the BNSS, that whenever offense is committed either by the Indian citizen or by a foreigner on Indian citizen करेगा high seas पे or elsewhere, or it is the foreigner who commits the offense on the Indian ship or Indian aircraft, then first of all it will be taken that offense is committed within India, and that court have jurisdiction to try such offender where he is found, and this is newly inserted where the offense is registered. So this was the टॉपिक ऑफ एप्लीकेबिलिटी, जो हमें बताता है कि BNS लगेगा किसके ऊपर. नाउ टू नो अबाउट द लायबिलिटी, देयर इज अ मैक्सिम. सपोज देयर इज अ पर्सन A going in the proper speed, he is not doing the rash driving, there is no drunken driving का केस, और उसकी गाड़ी के सामने एक पर्सन आ जाता है, pedestrian, and that person is killed. Is he liable for that death of that person? Answer is absolute no. So how to decide the liability? For that we have the basic maxim on which the whole of the criminal law is based, and that is actus non facetium nisi mansitaria. The meaning of this Latin maxim is an act alone cannot be criminal in itself unless it is accompanied with guilty mind. यानी देयर इज समथिंग कॉल्ड एज गिल्टी माइंड, जिसको हम देखेंगे इन ऑर्डर टू मेक पर्सन लायबल अंडर criminal law, because whole of the criminal law is based on this Latin maxim actus non facetium nisi mensitaria. From this maxim there are two basic element of the offense, because we categorize offense into two category. Offense we have seen, that is given under 2 clause 24. The word offense means a thing punishable by this संहिता. Offenses को we classify into two under BNS. It could be fault or guilt based offense, or it could be strict liability offense. Offenses like theft, extortion, criminal trespass, murder, ये सब किस में फॉल करेगा? इन दी फर्स्ट कैटेगरी, फॉल्ट और गिल्ट बेस्ड ऑफेंस. And offenses like heinous offense of rape, bigamy, dowry death, जिसके बहुत सारे इंसिडेंट्स are nowadays being reported, or it is the case of waging war against the government of India. Or it could be the case of public nuisance, which are the few examples of strict liability offense. तो how to determine कि कौन सा offense fault या guilt based offense है and which will come under strict liability offense. If I make you understand offense through a mathematical formula, क्योंकि ये जो हमारी maxim है actus non facetium nisi mensitaria give us two basic element of offense. ये हमें दो बेसिक एलिमेंट देती है. Of offense, and that are actus reus and mens rea. Actus reus and mens rea are Latin term. Actus reus is made of two words, actus and reus. Actus का मतलब consequence of the human conduct. Reus का मतलब what is prohibited and punishable by law. तो पूरा मतलब क्या हो गया? Consequence of the human conduct which is prohibited and punishable by law. Mens rea comprises of two terms, mens and rea. Rea and reus are plural and the singular term. Mens means state of mind and rea means what is prohibited and punishable by law. तो पूरा मीनिंग क्या हो गया mens rea का? State of mind which is prohibited and punishable by law, जिसे हम guilty mind भी कहते हैं. So actus reus is the physical element of the crime and mens rea is the mental element. लेकिन पूरे बीएनएस में आप ये मेंस रिया वर्ड लिखा नहीं पाओगे. इट कुड बी इंटेंशन, नॉलेज, रीजन टू बिलीव, वॉलंटरली, वॉन्टेनली, डिसऑनेस्टली, जिससे हमें पता चलता है कि व्हाट मेंस रिया इज देयर फॉर रिस्पेक्टिव ऑफेंस. तो इफ द ऑफेंस इज देयर विच इज फॉलिंग इन द फॉल्ट और गिल्ट बेस्ड ऑफेंस में, तो दैट कुड बी रिप्रेजेंटेड बाय अ मैथमेटिकल फॉर्मूला. अगर मैं आपको फॉल्ट या गिल्ट बेस्ड ऑफेंस को एक मैथमेटिकल फॉर्मूला से रिप्रेजेंट करके बताऊं, तो ऑफेंस विल बी actus reus plus mens rea if that offense is falling under the fault or guilt based offense में. Whereas if the offense is falling in the category of strict liability offense, तो offense का केवल फॉर्मूला हो जाएगा offense is equals to actus reus. देयर इज नो रिक्वायरमेंट ऑफ मेंस्ट्रुआ। तो पता कैसे करें कि ऑफेंस इज द स्ट्रिक्ट लायबिलिटी ऑफेंस? देयर आर टू टेस्ट, वन इज टेस्ट ऑफ एक्सप्रेस प्रोविजन, टेस्ट ऑफ एक्सप्रेस प्रोविजन ये कहता है कि हम जो एक्सप्रेस प्रोविजन है अंडर द भारतीय न्याय संहिता जहां पर ऑफेंस डिफाइन किया गया, दैट वी विल लुक इनटू, और देखेंगे कि सच टर्म्स विच इन्फर द मेंस्ट्रुआ, जैसे मैंने आपको बताया ना कि मेंस्ट्रुआ टर्म हैज नॉट बीन यूज्ड एज अ सिंगल प्लेस, neither under the new law of BNS nor under the corresponding old law of IPC. It is the intention, knowledge, reason to believe, voluntarily, dishonestly, fraudulently, wantonly, recklessness, rashly, negligently, जो कि हमें बताते हैं कि what are the menstruia for respective offense. तो अगर इनमें से कोई भी वर्ड नहीं है, if the express provision is silent, it could be a case of strict liability offense, and the confirmatory test is test of necessary implication. Test of necessary implication says that कि हर ऑफेंस को बनाने के पीछे देयर इज सम पर्पस। तो आपको ये चेक करना होगा कि अगर हम मेंस्ट्रुआ इंक्लूड करेंगे तो जो पर्पस है वो अच्छे से सर्व हो रहा है और इट इज डिफीटेड। इफ द पर्पस इज डिफीटेड or frustrated by the inclusion of menstruia, then it is the case of strict liability. Let me explain you test of necessary implication by an example. For example, जब हम डावरी देखेंगे as provided under section 80 of the BNS, तो there we won't find any term under the express provision जो बताए कि menstrua is there. Now we have to come to the second test. तो why dowry death has been made an offense? To curb the menace of dowry. तो अगर हम मेंस्ट्रुआ, लेट इट बी इंटेंशन विच इज द हाईएस्ट फॉर्म, उसको इंक्लूड करेंगे तो क्या हम कभी भी इस मेनेंस को रोक पाएंगे? नॉट एट ऑल। नोबडी वू कुड एवर से कि इंटेंशनली दे हैव कॉज्ड डेथ, दे हैव इंटेंशनली टेकन द डावरी, दे हैव इंटेंशनली हैरेस्ड दैट मैरिड वुमन, so it will be tough to make them punished, it is tough to make them punished for the act of dowry death. तो यहाँ पर अगर हम मेंस्ट्रुआ को इंक्लूड कर रहे हैं तो पर्पस फॉर मेकिंग दिस एक्ट एज एन ऑफेंस विल बी फ्रस्ट्रेटेड, इट मीन्स इट इज अ केस ऑफ स्ट्रिक्ट लायबिलिटी ऑफेंस. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, देयर वॉज अ पर्सन accused whose name was Henry Philip. He has taken a girl whose name was Annie, जिसका physical appearance was such, जिसे देखकर one could not say कि she is minor. Rather, her physical appearance was such कि she appears to be age of majority. She herself said that yes, she is major. So when that accused has taken that girl out of the lawful guardianship of her parents, out of the lawful guardianship, तो सवाल ये है कि क्या हम एक्यूज हेनरी फिलिप को लायबल ठहराएं फॉर द ऑफेंस, और ही कुड बी अलाउड टू टेक द डिफेंस ऑफ कंसेंट, और ही कुड बी अलाउड टू टेक द डिफेंस की मेंस्ट्रुआ तो मेरे पार्ट पे था ही नहीं. आई हैव आस्क्ड द गर्ल एंड आई हैव गॉन बाय द फिजिकल अपीयरेंस ऑफ द गर्ल. आंसर इज नो, एंड दैट वाज लेड डाउन इन द केस ऑफ आर वर्सेस प्रिंस. This was the fact of R versus Prince, and House of Lords has given the decision in year 1875. So that accused Henry Philip was made liable for the offense of kidnapping from lawful guardianship, which is a strict liability offense, and he would not be allowed to take the defense of consent or absence of menstruia. Similarly, there is a case R versus Tolson, 1889, King's Bench. In this case, what happened that there was Mr. and Mrs. Tolson. They were the married couple. Lekin after their marriage, within 1 year of their marriage, the husband found missing. और जिस शिप में वो सवार था, ये न्यूज आई कि that ship was completely drowned and whole of the passengers have died. She has waited for 6 years. She has done all possible inquiries to ensure herself कि husband is there or not, और ultimately जब कुछ भी नहीं पता चलता है after 6 years, she has gone for subsequent marriage. और जैसे ही दूसरी शादी करती है उसके चंद दिनों के अंदर that Mr. Tolson appears. now that Mr. Tolson want to make the wife liable for bigamy, whether she will be liable, or her efforts which she has done everything whatever is possible, and that time period 6 years is not less, तो क्या हम वो 7 साल presumption of death which is given in 111 of the BSS को strict interpretation करेंगे, और it is may presume जिसे disprove किया जा सकता है by evidences which was done in that case, तो that lady Mrs. Tolson was not made liable because her possible effort and waiting for 6 years time period shows that she has acted in good faith. And what the court has held in this case? The court held that mens rea is applied in every statute unless a statute rules out expressly or by necessary implication. It means mens rea is there in every statute. जब तक कि express provision से या necessary implication से it has not been excluded. Now let us see what is the presumption of mens rea. India में अलग presumption है and in English law it is different. So in English law, presumption regarding mens rea, if we go in with respect to IL stand for Indian law, so Indian law में every offense is taken that mens rea is not required. Indian law में this is presumption regarding mens rea कि mens rea is not required for any offense unless it has been expressly or by necessary implication included. तो तब तक हम नहीं मानेंगे कि मेंस rea इंक्लूडेड है इंडियन कंटेक्स्ट में जब तक कि एक्सप्रेस प्रोविजन में या टेस्ट ऑफ नेसेसरी इंप्लीकेशन में दैट हैज बीन इंक्लूडेड. इसका जस्ट रिवर्स प्रिजम्पशन है इन इंग्लिश लॉ. In English law, the presumption regarding mens rea is that there for every offense we presume that mens rea is there unless by express provision or by test of necessary implication that has been excluded. So this was all in today's class. Next class we will be reading further. Thank you.